It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in cinema, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hey, Jim.
Hey, Bryce.
And Murray, who's wearing some strange red shirt that's got like Tweety Bird on it or something. What the hell is that shirt, Murray?
That would be Deadpool.
That's Deadpool? It looks like Tweety Bird. Are you sure it's not Tweety Bird?
No. Dead.
I see Tweety Bird. So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
I don't know. Is it like Tweety Bird?
Looks like Tweety Bird.
I'm not sure if it's Tweety Bird.
I see Tweety Bird.
Hey, Ray, can you move around a bit? Like, do a little dance?
I don't dance. I'm not a monkey.
Make a little love? Get down
thing.
tonight. Ooh! Get down tonight. Ooh! I got nothing.
No
You got
intro?
nothing.
Want me to read it?
Thank you.
Seriously, you want me to read it?
No, I'm just not prepared today. For the first time ever, I am not prepared. Well, thanks to Wolfen supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, please like, subscribe, and share, and give us a 5-star rating on your listening platform. Or, even better, support us and join the Film Rage community by joining a membership at buymeacoffee.com/FilmRageYYC. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible movie, and we will watch it if it played in cinemas anywhere in the world.
Yeah, we might have to...
Or at a film festival anywhere in the world.
This is getting silly.
It's the best. Now, let's get to raging. But first, here's a word from our sponsor.
Hey, Bryce, what are you doing tonight?
I'm going to my favorite cinema, Canyon Meadows Cinema, to see the best second-run movies at the best price.
What? How inexpensive are they?
Regular price is $5, $5.
Regular price is $5. Makes me hope they also serve pizza.
They do, plus a lot of other great food choices. Plus, I'm planning my office Christmas party there. They can host a plethora of options for any get-together. Gaming, movie, drag show.
Drag show? Now I know where I'm planning my next party.
Hey, maybe you think there's a Liam Neeson or a superhero movie planned?
Ugh, I hope not. But maybe there'll be a great independent documentary.
Sure. Call CMC at 403-670-5444 to book a special event or go online at canyonmeadowscinema.ca.
It's like Fonzie. C-A! Like Fonzie. He's like Fonzie. Yeah. A.
Because he's cool.
Because he's cool. Just like Bryce. He's too
Like the cool side of the pillow.
He is the cool side of the pillow. So soft and manageable. So we went to the cinemas.
We did.
You did.
And you know what it is? It's Halloween season.
It is.
In theory.
In theory. So we got to see a movie called
Halloween Ends.
Cool. What's it all about?
Well, sir, Halloween Ends is the third attempt at the franchise from David Gordon Green, and this one is as far away from the concept of the original John Carpenter film as any yet. Except for maybe Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. We start by introducing a brand new protagonist in Corey Cunningham in a flat performance from Rohan Campbell. The opening sequence of the film has Corey babysitting some brat, and then tragedy ensues.
Best part.
Visually effective scene that was well executed, but ultimately had me wondering where on earth is this going to go from here? The event is a launching point for an underdeveloped romance that made little sense between Corey and Allison, played by Andy Matichak. Allison, of course, is the granddaughter of Laurie Strode, once again played by Jamie Lee Curtis, who is the obsession of one Mr. Michael Myers. We then go through a whole lot of nonsensical build-up that includes Corey being bullied by some marching band thugs. Yes, apparently in Haddonfield, the marching bands are the marching band are badasses. We see Corey at home with his mom. We see Corey at work. We see Corey and Allison on a date. We see Corey and Allison have inane conversations that no one would ever have. We see Laurie Strode burn a pie. That was really good.
It was awesome.
We see Laurie Strode shopping in a Halloween movie. Let's show Laurie Strode shopping.
Epic.
None of this is building to anything. Then finally we get a glimpse of Michael Myers that is so underwhelming due to the fact that it not only made no sense, but I also did not understand what got us to that point. On the end of the last film, I don't know how this got to where
it was 5 years later.
The weird dynamic between Michael and Corey that followed did not work for me at all. The kills were uninspired, aside from the demise of a local radio DJ, which was brilliant.
Fantastic.
The way they even disposed of the body at the end was underwhelming. The whole project seemed rushed to me. From the sloppy writing to the poor performances to the lack of cohesiveness to the climax that was not climatic at all. At the end of the day, this was not a good movie, and it was made even worse by not delivering a fitting end to the icon known as Michael Myers. Halloween Ends should have been named Halloween Disappoints. Oh yeah, and it was also a rage.
Nice.
Ragey rage.
Ragey rage McRagenstein. I'm kind of happy.
Uh-huh.
I thought you'd like it more than that, to be honest.
I did not like it.
I knew he didn't like it, but I didn't think he didn't like it that much. Well, we'll have some unpacking because I think we have to. There's a lot to discuss it from this film when you think of this as a trilogy bookend for sure. I was excited to see this film when I knew it was coming out in cinemas because that's a new thing for us.
As was I.
In fact, I was so excited, I tore my shirt off and showed my tits.
You did.
I did. Remember that? That's how excited I was.
Fantastic.
The music by John Carpenter, plus a soundtrack that was incredible. Murderous training wheels, evil bully band geeks, a slow building foreplay of murdergasm, building to a blood orgy of epic proportions. This wasn't the best of the trilogy, which we were hoping for. Is if you've listened to last year's episode and the year before that's episode, where we talked about Halloween and then we talked about Halloween Kills. This was supposed to be the beautiful, tasty icing on the top of the cake, and we're going to talk about that later. So no, this was not the Halloween cake that we were expecting. It did have some interesting twists and turns and some delicious murders, especially the one that made the record skip a beat, as Bryce has already alluded. This wasn't nearly as funny as the second or nearly as graphic and violent as the second. But what it lacked in violent originality, it made up for in predictable fun with twists and turns to keep you on your toes. I loved how every character was a list that was like a shopping list of who you wanted to die, and who you wanted to murder them was not necessarily the person that you got, which is Michael.
Yeah.
But the first death in the film, and I will maybe quote Bryce on this, when he went, this fucking annoying kid, except for he didn't say fucking, this fucking annoying kid needs to die. And then almost instantly, it happens.
Yes.
So I wasn't sure if Bryce was a soothsayer or foreteller of future to come, but if you couldn't have predicted that one from a mile away, maybe a little disappointing. Yeah, so perhaps the makers of this film took a playbook from John Krasinski's last original film that he made that was good compared to the second film he made in his duology. Yeah, when he killed the kid in the first 10 minutes. Because when you see this in a horror movie, you know you're in for a little bit of a surprise. Yes, there was tons of slasher tropes, and like most slashers were predictable and corny, but there was also tons to laugh at and with. So it was a fun romp through memory lane. I was a little disappointed that no one but me was chanting "Evil dies tonight," and I kind of didn't like the 5 years later scenario, but everything Laurie said, every line of dialogue, even when she was grocery shopping, was incredibly awesome and funny. And seeing the mesmerizing Will Patton was also great. Unfortunately, as I mentioned, it wasn't the best in the series because ultimately, I think what we were all hoping for after seeing Halloween Kills was perhaps a John Wick meets Michael Myers and have Mikey and friends take this train to Murderville so that we basically saw Mike Myers literally kill every single person in this town. That's what I think this movie was building to. And if that was, I think every single person that saw the second one was hoping for that movie. We did not get that movie. We got everything the opposite of that movie. But what I did like about this was I did like the fact that it was very tropey, but it was kind of like there all the way through it. You kind of couldn't expect.
It was tropey.
I mean, all the tropes were there. And I'm not. I don't like the tropes, but what I did like about it, it was. I was kind of. It made every single person annoying, and so it was so much fun to watch them die. In that respect, I was kind of enjoying the film as I was watching it because I don't normally enjoy slashers. Isn't my favorite genre, but when they're done in the respect of. In the last film, it was over the top funny and slasher gore. This one was more, in my opinion, a somewhat of a throwback to the twists and turns. They kind of M. Night Shyamalan ding donged us a little bit on a couple things. Ultimately, it wasn't what I expected. I didn't absolutely hate it like Bryce. I thought it was meh. And we should unpack a few things. Mer, what'd you think?
Yes.
Halloween ends. Does it? Does it really?
I don't know.
It would seem so. I'm going to start with the last 20 minutes. Much as I don't like slasher films, this was an extremely satisfying conclusion to a tired old franchise. Plenty of blood, plenty of stabby. This film should have been called Corey's Halloween. Michael Myers doesn't show up until, spoiler alert, 45 minutes into it, which is not even halfway. The journey this creepy little psycho babysitter goes on is very chilling, but has sweet bupkis to do with Michael Myers. When he does show up, he's a pathetic old man living in the sewers. He might as well have a cane or a walker to get around. Is this the same guy who took out an entire fire department in the last film? He's basically a mentor for this sick young man, so in that way, it's not really a Halloween film. Until the ends. See what I did there?
Yeah, I like that, actually.
There was some good kills, and Corey was undoubtedly the star of this film, much as it was. I mean, Jamie Lee was pretty awesome, though.
She is awesome.
As for Michael, like most horror films I watch, meh.
There you go. Hi.
By the way, if you had your way,
yeah,
and you got your way with the Mesmerized list, Will Patton would be gone right now. But he's not, because number one, there was nobody else in this movie that was
more mesmerizing than him. He still played everybody, but also he wasn't in it for more than 5 minutes, though.
Oh yeah, he was.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, he was.
Watch him make the moves on
Laurie.
I guarantee he was in for more than 5 minutes. But it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
but I was very sad to watch that pathetic performance by Will Patton.
Yeah.
It literally made me sad.
Cringe. Yeah, I think that's why they kind of tried to M. Night it through the film, was because
I don't think they tried to M. Night it either.
They did. Okay, here's the reason why I think that. I think it because everything that we were expecting obviously didn't happen, right? Because, even when the movie starts, we're like, okay, isn't this supposed to be the same night? Because the first one, to the second one was the same night.
Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of thinking, isn't this going to be like a John Wick 3? Like, isn't this going to be Halloween 3 that it's going to follow right after there? And I'm thinking in my mind, how the hell are we going to get Laurie, who's still in the hospital, to fight against Michael? But then I thought to myself, well, he's probably injured because he got a few shots into him. And so what do? They fast forward 5 years or 4 or 5 years. I'm not sure. And then I think what they were doing, this is my guess, whether I think this is great or not, because it wasn't the movie I wanted, is I think they were trying to, because it ends, they're trying to make it think like, oh, they're going to lead us down this path so that we all think, wait a minute, this isn't going to end, because now they've got a mentorship program with Michael Myers doing the Rocky version with this new Corey kid. And like why they didn't have like the Rocky theme music at some point in the movie was disappointing for me for sure. But then again, could you imagine John Carpenter writing a reboot of the Rocky theme music? That might have been actually pretty cool.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Ultimately, I'm saying is that they were trying to make us think, the viewer, that we're like, this isn't going to end. This isn't going to end because
they're pulling the old bait and switch.
Yeah,
there.
they're bait and switched us.
And I get that, but
they didn't do a good job of it.
Nothing worked, like nothing at all, and it was a whole lot of nothing. And I'm usually a fan of nothing, but not in this particular case. It wasn't a Halloween movie. The performances were terrible. It seemed half written to me. Like nothing connected with me. Like I couldn't even connect the dots. It's like, okay, sorry, how did we get to here? Like I was just confused through the whole thing. And I wasn't confused because I didn't get it I was confused because it literally didn't make sense. And it was not a very well written movie. And I expected so much more. I was excited when David Gordon Green decided he was going to, and I shouldn't. I should know better than get excited about anything that's a remake at this point in my life.
Yes.
Unless it's Rob Zombie. But I was so excited because I thought, you know what? If anybody can do this, it's going to be him. And he's let me down. It was actually, the first one was okay.
Yep.
Second one, it's like, okay, it was pretty good.
It was pretty awesome.
And then he gets to the third one where he's got it was bad. It was just bad.
It's funny though. Why did we like Kills so much? And if you remember, it was a high ma.
Yeah,
like for both of us, it was a high ma.
Because it was entertaining.
Yes. And
it was entertaining from opening scene to closing scene. And it was more in the vein of, scene after scene after scene, that something was like it almost had a frenetic pace to it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Where this, and as I say, usually I like the slow burn.
Draggy.
But this didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
As I say, I loved the opening scene.
Yeah.
And I hated everything after it.
Yeah.
Like everything.
Yeah.
And I thought this was one of the worst acted movies I've seen in a long time. I don't care what you say. Everybody was bad in this.
I liked Jamie Lee Curtis's delivery.
Yeah.
And
she was awesome.
Everybody was bad.
Ultimately, I think that the concept was they were trying to bait and switch us so that we would think, okay, Halloween doesn't end.
Here's the thing. They tried to bait and switch us, so I should have been frustrated by that. Yeah. But I wasn't, because I didn't give a crap.
Well, here's something I read while doing research. The creator of this character, Michael Myers, apparently made some kind of deal with the people who made these movies that Michael Myers could not be killed off.
You mean John Carpenter?
No. Well, yeah, whoever wrote it, whatever. Did he write it? I don't know. But
the original.
Whoever it was, they made a deal when they were going to make this trilogy that they couldn't kill him off. I'm like, well, then what's the point?
But
like, Halloween ends, but did they kill him off or didn't they? Because it's in the paper. He's definitely not allowed to kill him off. So I guess they just won't make any more movies.
Well, or you can just go, balls to the wall Jason on this whole thing, and somehow lightning hits something, and all of a sudden
restores him.
And some secret acid gets dropped into something, and some compound, and then all of a sudden his body parts go back together.
But Mike Myers has never been the same wacky that Jason is, right? It's just not.
That's what I'm saying. That's the only way you bring him back at this point. If you go.
Unless they do an origin story again.
Because for the
Yeah, let's
first
go back to let's remake the original. Reboot
Let's
with
start
everybody.
it all over
with
again.
all new cast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
let's have Rob Zombie take another crack
Let's
at it.
please stop saying that filthy, filthy word that makes me throw up every time you say it. Unless you're talking about his music.
One of the
finest
finest directors.
I don't want to hear la 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 la. No, he's not. He's terrible.
Oh, he's so good.
No. Every single one of his movies he's made isn't even as good
The
as
Devil's
Halloween
Rejects
Ends.
is on my top 10 movies of all time.
Okay, well, I'm sorry to hear that. Now, we did get to see something else, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
We got to see something called Stars at Noon.
What the hell that means?
Yeah, Stars at Noon. I don't know what that means.
Stars at Noon.
So,
Tell me about Stars at Noon.
Yes.
I'm excited.
So, it sounds like it should be, right? Not in a while have I seen a film that I was thinking to myself, what the fuck? For pretty much the entire movie. From the softcore.
I'm just wondering if this is a good thing or a bad thing. I'm actually on pins and
I
needles
know.
here.
From the softcore blue movie porn mixed in with the politically charged suspense drama,
Yeah.
where this is and isn't any clarity to what is happening and no urgency seems to be on anyone. And yet
Yeah.
there is intensity in the film that should have pushed our leads more to do something.
Except lay in bed and have sex.
Yeah, but that's right. We needed some more nudity in softcore porn.
Yeah, there wasn't enough nudity in that.
I mean, I love the fact that I was waiting on bated breath for something to happen the entire movie, which does kind of bookend nicely from the beginning to the end. But man, this movie was so long and draggy.
What?
To get to completion, that was
gonna
very
be for?
little underwhelming.
Well, you're not going to agree with that.
Absolutely.
In addition, lots of random events happen that do not seem to make any sense. In fact,
What?
my review of this is almost Bryce's review from Halloween Ends.
What the hell were you watching?
Good.
Is anybody else confused here? I know I am. This film was way too long. And
What?
although I liked some of the characters and some of the relationships, ultimately it didn't go anywhere fast.
Okay, where's the butt?
Not
Oh, there was.
I'm
butts,
not
believe
really
me.
I'm actually not really sure what actually happened in this movie. Right up until the very
Why does
end,
something always have to happen?
Because they were kind of
the point
leading
of
up to
movies,
something
for something to
happen.
happen.
No, I understand his argument, but this movie was by what had to have been at least 20 minutes too long. They could have
I
cut
could have
out.
gone
They
another
could have
45
cut.
minutes.
They could have cut 40 minutes out of
At
this.
least.
And the only
This should have been 3+ hours.
And the softcore porn that we saw
I want a
wasn't even
director's
good.
cut.
Wasn't even that good of softcore porn.
It wasn't.
That's
There
all I'm
wasn't
saying.
softcore porn. What is this softcore
This
porn?
this is what.
What were you watching?
To Maury's point, it was like when they didn't have anything to do in the movie, they'd say, you know what we're missing here? We need another scene of them having sex
I
in a
am
different
losing
hotel
faith
room.
Take your
in
shirt
you,
off.
Jim.
No. Ultimately, this was a meh because I did like the acting of these
Acting was
actors,
great.
and I did like the music, how they did
The
it.
music was great.
The challenge that I had with this film, and Murray probably will talk about this a little bit in a minute, was they were trying to somewhat make it a period piece, but it's
Yes,
not
but it
really
wasn't.
a period piece. So
Yeah.
no, it was
Ultimately-
it was yeah.
it's supposed to technically take place in the 80s.
No.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it is. It's based on a
Yes,
book.
it is.
That is from
Yeah,
the
I
80s.
understand it's based on a
Yeah.
book from the 80s,
Yeah.
but they updated the story.
They did.
Yeah, but Nicaragua's not having the same issues,
Same issues
that
they
they're
were in the
having
80s.
back in the 80s, like this movie tries to make it portray.
There was no fighting anywhere.
Yeah.
Soldiers
So
with
let's pretend that
samurai
it
guns.
wasn't based on anything true. Ultimately, it took too long to get where it was going,
Yes.
which wasn't anywhere, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it was 20 minutes to 40 minutes too long. It was a man.
All right, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm sure Murray liked it though. Go ahead, Murray.
Oh yeah, just you wait. What the hell was this film?
I know, right?
No, really.
did like
what the
I
hell
know.
was it?
I am with you, brother.
The original
It was
book.
so good though.
The original book and the synopsis according to the idiots at IMDb, was this. This was written on the IMDb page, by the way. 1984's Nicaragua, a mysterious English businessman and a headstrong American journalist strike up a romance as they become embroiled in a dangerous labyrinth of lies and conspiracy and are forced to try and escape the country. In 1984, during the whole Sandinistas Contra scandal where, the country was basically at war with itself. That would have been an awesome movie. Because there would have been like fighting, gunfire, they're having to hide, and that kind of stuff. This film was not that. First of all the damn COVID masks. And they didn't even wear them properly. They put them on for 10 seconds, then they took them off again. They weren't even using proper protocols if it's supposed to be in current times. But yeah, if it's set in the 80s, there's no COVID masks. Even if there's a bubonic plague, they're not wearing masks. That really distracted me for the whole movie. Then I also spotted a San Jose Sharks t-shirt.
Yeah.
Who did not enter the NHL until 1991. That's when I finally got a clue. Maybe this is not set in the 80s.
No, it's not.
And all the modern vehicles. So, okay, I get it. This was set in the present time. In which case, what's the point?
It's
like you said, there was no urgency. They just laid around in bed for the whole movie, and nobody was looking for them. Nobody, they got thrown out of the hotel a couple times, and they went to somewhere else. Or stole a car, nobody was looking for it.
Yeah.
It's nothing ever happened to them until the very end.
Or the guy that's supposedly really looking for them, that's supposed to be the Costa Rican dude.
Yeah.
He's outside of their hotel, and he knows the guy's in there, and yet he can't. He's not allowed to enter the hotel.
It's
they
by the way, Nicaragua currently is still wrought with rebellion. I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about.
Yeah, but it's not the same. It's not the same. You can get out of Nicaragua.
That wasn't the spirit of the original book.
You can get out of Nicaragua.
Not in the situation that she was in. No.
Anyway,
I disagree.
This is just some random journalist and some British dude trying to escape what? Escape something somewhere. I don't know.
Well, that part made sense.
They lost me 20 minutes in, and I really wanted to leave. If Jim wasn't my ride, I probably would have left. I described this film as 9.5 weeks.
I'm waiting for the butt.
Spy game. Sex, and then some soldiers with guns.
Sex. What are you talking about?
There
was some. I mentioned it in my review.
There was so much nudity by the lead actress in this film. At one point, I thought, okay, we've seen them. Now put them away. That's something I never thought of myself. I'd actually say. The story was way too slow, at over 2 hours, way too long.
What is going
Nothing
on?
but rage for this piece of crap.
There was no but. You didn't
There
say
was no
but.
No, because I 100% agree with Jim.
There is not. Well, not 100, but I gave it a meh.
I wanted to leave. I wanted to go sit outside for an hour.
Oh, for crying out loud. Okay, so here...
Wait, in a bucket, isn't it?
In a bucket. That's right. Crime in a bucket.
Not crying out loud. It's in a bucket.
At any rate, Stars at Noon, directed by Claire Denis, is a fascinating, unflinching piece of cinema. Set in Nicaragua, it follows the exploits of a young writer named Trish, who is truly a product of her circumstance, as she cannot leave the country as her passport has been confiscated, as well as any monetary means to get out. She does what she can to survive, as she sells her body and steals what she needs. She has a chance encounter with a British gentleman, who she doesn't quite know what to make of. There's very little story going on at this point. Just a mesmerizing look at the day-to-day of this character who is literally just doing what she has to do to survive. Then about halfway through, a story starts to develop as she notices that a man that was talking to her British fellow is a cop. When she asks him if he was aware that it is apparent that this is quite a surprise for him.
It was a surprise for him.
From here, there is a slow build of tension that includes a low-speed car chase through torrential rain, a lot of walking. There is some sex.
Boy, is he reselling this.
I know. He's describing the dream movie for Bryce.
And eventually it leads to a bummer of an ending. Plus, the film has an appearance from Benny Safdie as the CIA man, who was so good in this. Plus, It had a hilarious cameo from John C. Reilly as an American publisher.
30 seconds.
He was the best.
Who is worth the price of admission
30
just for
seconds.
the 3 minutes that he was in the film. This is a slow burning character study of a tough but lonely woman who is a survivor. This was also a mondo. I frickin' loved this movie. I could have sat there in the theater all night long and watched these characters. I was absolutely mesmerized by the entire atmosphere of this film.
Where's
It
the
sucked me in like you
Where's
just.
the butt?
Where's the butt?
There's no but. This was such a super duper mondo. There is a good chance that this ends up on my best films of the year. This was, unless something comes out in the next couple months, this is top 3. This was so good, and everybody should see this film.
Yeah.
I loved this movie.
I did not love it. I do. Here's the thing.
Stars at noon. Go see it. It's so good.
I was fully enjoying the fact that we had no clue what was happening. I had bigger problems with the fact that they didn't seem to have any urgency through the entire
really
film.
didn't.
They
So
did.
for a film,
No,
they
they
didn't.
didn't.
They did not.
Oh,
As you're
well,
watching the movie,
absolutely
it's kind of
did.
like no, they had no panic. They weren't rushed to anything. There was nothing where they're like, we have to actually do something. You know what? No, let's just go back to bed and have
Go
sex.
back to bed and have more sex.
Yeah, like to me,
I don't
to
know-
me,
I don't know what you're
no
wa-
one knocking
No,
the door. There was none
no,
of that.
I don't know what you're
they,
watching.
they spun this. Your point, I completely agree with. Up until they get to that point where she says, "Okay, this is where the mystery starts."
Mm-hmm.
But then that's the part they should have built suspense, as opposed to just having them be
they
so.
did.
No,
it was holy smokes! Was it tense?
No, it wasn't.
That last half hour was super tense.
But the last half hour should have been cut. But the last half hour is when we got to see Safdie, which I agree, he was fantastic.
Safdie was so good.
He was good. So I did like the characters. I think it was too long.
So
I don't think there
well-written.
was any urgency in a film that should have had. And anyone else on the planet, if you're going to try and relate to these characters, you should have felt that there was urgency to the situation.
Acting check, atmosphere check.
Yes. Yeah, no, I agree. The atmosphere was there, but the urgency wasn't, which maybe is that for me, that was the huge downfall of this movie. There was no urgency in a situation that had a shit ton of urgency.
It played more realistic the way that it played out.
No way. If they knew they had to get the shit out of Dodge, they would have been spending a lot more time getting their ass going.
They can't just get up and they had to.
They had to stop and take time. No. Have you not seen a road movie? Like, I know you like the things to move really slow, but it didn't. For that type of thing, when they need to get the hell out of Dodge, they needed to move faster.
They did get the hell out of Dodge.
Well, they didn't. They stopped, and then they had to have sex again in the car, and then they had to.
They didn't have any car sex, did they?
Yeah, they did. They had car sex.
I don't remember all this sex that you're talking about.
I had to have been at least 6 times they had sex.
They definitely had some. I mean, I do remember that, but yeah, I don't know. That's not what stands out in my head. That's like all you can talk about.
Well, because it was like they probably could have cut 4 of the sex scenes, and that would have been 20 minutes.
Like I said,
I thought that everything,
that's all you need.
Everything just flowed so well.
I think Murray's analogy kind of stands up a bit. 9.5 weeks meets Spy Game.
I don't think there is an analogy for this because it is just an original movie that was so good.
100% it is original.
I didn't understand.
100% agree.
Yeah, it was so.
It just felt like 9.5 weeks with a little bit of
good.
Spy
I
Game
just absolutely adored this movie.
good for you.
This is good.
I can't wait to watch it again.
You do that.
So what I'm hearing here, we can't agree on anything this week.
No, probably not.
Nothing. It's been a washout.
Huh.
And it surprised me that I gave Halloween a higher rating than him.
Yeah.
Because I hate slasher
This world
films.
is topsy-turvy.
I hate slasher films.
The Halloween bugged me. That was not good.
I found some of it entertaining.
But you know what we will all agree on?
I smacked my knee.
Yeah, well, you deserve it.
Bryce deserves the kick in the shin.
That's right.
That he
Nobody
gave
agrees with
that. He gave himself.
All right. I originally didn't have anything to do this week, and then I thought of something.
Pull my finger.
I'm going to talk about my favorite Myers. That would be Mike Myers.
From Halloween?
Without the Halloween mask.
You mean not Michael Myers, but Mike
Canadian
Myers?
actor from Toronto, Ontario.
Yeah, we just saw him in Amsterdam.
We did.
He was very good.
He was not good.
Done not a lot of movies over his career.
I like that movie.
I liked it
too. This way, he used to be funny. So I am going to do a little short countdown about favorite movies that he's been in.
Nice.
Starting with, honorable mention goes, of course, to Amsterdam and Bohemian Rhapsody because he was in them very long, but they were the same characters. So.
Okay.
But he was cute in both of those. First up, we have 54.
Yes.
He was truly creepy in that.
He was good in that.
He was very good in that.
Then we have View from the Top, which was a little underrated comedy, which I enjoyed. Yes, it had Gwyneth Paltrow in it.
Yeah.
Christina Applegate.
It was awful.
And of course, Mr. Potato, Mark Ruffalo was the guy they fight over.
I love that movie.
Awful.
But
I understand
he was
fighting
awesome.
over Ruffalo, though.
He was awesome.
He was good.
He was their flight attendant teacher.
Mark Ruffalo was?
No,
he
Mike
wasn't.
Myers.
Oh.
And he had a lazy eye. He was awesome. He was the best character in the movie.
I would agree. He was the best thing in that movie.
Then, of course, we have the Austin Powers. I kind of prefer the second one to any of them, but
was he in Austin Powers?
Yeah, he was Austin Powers.
Oh.
And
he only played one character.
No, he played two.
I think he played more than two.
She played a few.
I think he played about 10 characters.
What? Really?
Then we, of course, have Wayne's World, which everyone knows him for. The second one was a major disappointment, but the first one was just comic genius. That's when I actually enjoyed SNL, which I haven't for a long time.
Okay.
And my number one movie that I think he's ever done may surprise you.
Is it about axe murders?
It might be.
So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Such a good movie.
Comic genius. Probably the best role I've ever seen him in.
He
plays himself, and he also plays his Scottish father, who steals the movie with every line. It's just, and Nancy Travis was like drop dead gorgeous in it. She was awesome. And Anthony, what's his name? Anthony Paglia or something? As his buddy. His buddy.
Tagliaglio.
Charles Grodin was in it.
Yep.
Stephen Wright was in it.
Stephen Wright.
Phil Hartman.
Phil Hartman's awesome.
He played a tour guide named
Judy. I think I need to watch
or
that
something.
Again, actually.
You should.
I will.
He played a tour. He played
We're all going
an Alcatraz tour guide. I think his name was Judy or something. It was some girl name.
And
he's telling all these horror stories about how the inmates used to shank each other and then have sex and stuff. And I'm like, that was awesome.
It was.
He ate the bitch's eyeballs.
It was pretty damn good.
It was the best role I ever saw him in. So yeah, rather than see another Michael Myers movie, I will go back and see this movie
again. Now, does anybody remember his poetry reading?
Yes. You want me to recite it?
Yeah, I do want it.
Okay, I will. That's when he breaks up with his girlfriend.
Yep.
And I can find it. Harriet. Hard-hearted harbinger of haggis. Beautiful bemused. Bellicose butcher. Untrusting. Unknowing. Unloved Ed? He wants you back, he screamed into the night, like a fireman going to the window that has no fire except the passion of his heart. I am lonely. It's really hard. This poem sucks.
Nice.
Anyway, yeah, that's my little piece of heaven.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
Now, there's so many things I could rage about as we come into Halloween season.
Rob Zombie.
I mean, I don't even have to say that anymore, how much I despise Rob Zombie's films.
He's
but
the best.
But what I will rage about this week is I cannot stand the fact that this is a really bad Halloween season. We got better horror films in September than we're getting now. And I'm kind of like the ones that I'm kind of excited that we're hopefully going to get to see is like we're not even getting them here in Canada. So it's really frustrating. And then on top of that, the level of murdergasm that I had in Halloween Kills was so high. I thought there's no way they can to get that to the mondo that we were all hoping for was if they would have done the John Wick Halloween version and had Michael Myers just motherfucking kill every single person in that town like he started to in the second one. It should have just gone to, they should have put their foot on the gas pedal and gave him a knife and just let him go. That was the movie I think every single one of us wanted to see, and it just didn't happen. And I think to close the book on Halloween Ends with not having the biggest murdergasm of that franchise is disappointment. So my rage this week is
what I told you. It was Halloween disappoints.
But I still enjoyed it because I'm a bit of a fan of Michael Myers. Like I know you like Voorhees, but Myers is my dude. So it's like I did enjoy some of the twists and turns, and I just wanted to see something go into that wood chipper. So yeah, can we please?
First half of the movie wasn't nothing to do with them.
Can we please get better horror at Halloween? The whole month of October should just be gooing with horror. Like, save your good September horror for
I have to talk to your Blumhouse
October.
boys. Blumhouse boys are the only guys doing horror these days, it seems.
I don't know. It's pissing me off. That's my rage.
Yeah.
Let's have some real fucking horror come out here. I want to see the... I don't even know what I want to see Terrifier 2. This is what I want to see.
Is that a segue?
I don't know.
I think this might be my best rage ever.
I think so.
I'll let you guys decide. My rage is that Cineplex keeps on running out of large popcorn bags.
Oh, is that why you had two?
That's my rage.
Is that why you had two?
That's actually pretty good. Actually, you know what? Remember last week when we talked about the fact we were going to see Halloween Ends?
Yeah.
So here's a funny story, because it goes on to your rage from last week. And I vowed I was going to see Halloween Ends as a child. So interesting point, Bryce. They gave us the option to purchase it, but they're smart enough to know I couldn't buy a single child ticket by myself.
Yes.
They said to me, you have to be an adult to go to see this movie. Yet they still fucking had it as a choice for me to drop down.
If you had bought an adult ticket for yourself and a child one for me, that would have worked.
It could have worked.
That would have worked.
And I'm kicking myself now because I should have gone as a senior.
You should have done that.
I should have done it as a senior.
Exactly.
Why are you stepping on my rage?
I'm just adding to your rage.
Disagreeing with you.
I 100% agree with your So I'm sorry, I
Nothing
can't
to do
eat
with
it.
popcorn bags.
Yeah, but I'm
your whole
adding
rage
on
is-
to your rage from
your whole
last
rage
I'm
week.
giving you the best rage that I ever have in my life, and then you just went and
Your whole rage is-
I just was
Your whole
saying
rage is
last week's
popcorn?
rage was pretty good, and I just wanted to add to that.
That's all you got,
Because we
popcorn?
made a promise to our listeners.
There was an exclamation point at the end of my rage, and then you come in with more, so it just takes away the effectiveness of my rage.
Do you want me to pass it back?
I'm gonna repeat my rage again.
No.
And then we're gonna end.
Can we?
Because it's my rage.
Can you just add a little bit more sprinkle on there, like you're adding a little bit of salt on that
Sauce it
popcorn.
up a little.
Sauce it up. Give us a bit more zhuzh
It
to
doesn't
it.
need any sauce. It's the facts or the
Put that
facts.
that butter,
The
fake
fake
butter
butter on
shit
it.
you put on it.
Butter it up.
No. My rage is that Cineplex keeps on running out of large popcorn bags. That's my rage.
Apparently, that's all he's got.
That's
Okay,
it.
now I have to do it again.
No, you don't.
Subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
Stop raining on my parade.
Yeah, now you know how it feels.
But you know what? The best thing about parades
Just saying.
is that they're fun.
Yeah.
I hate parades. They're
Everyone
too
loves a
long. You're
parade.
standing there. You get sore feet. You're standing in one stinking place. There's never anywhere to sit.
Yeah, but when you're in the parade, they're kind of fun.
Oh, if you're in the parade, well, that's different.
I never watch parades. I'm always in a parade. Wherever I go.
I've never been in a parade.
Well, you
You're like
walk
Ferris-
beside me, and I'm always in the parade. So you're the float that comes along with me.
You're like Ferris Bueller. You're the center of attention.
That's all in your head. That's not a
It's all
thing.
true. It's all a true thing. Why is there no music? What's happening here?
Because you guys were talking about something.
Yeah, we're still talking. We talk
Sort of what we
nonstop.
do.
Because the
So-
rage was over, and I was waiting.
Well,
for
we
you to
weren't
segue to
weren't
the new
raging. We were
stuff.
talking about the parade that happens to be
but
the
there's no
parade of
there's no music
lists.
for that. So there. Now
So-
we're moving on.
Murray charged us
Did I?
with Lord of War.
Yeah, it was better than I remember it being, actually.
Yeah, you know what? I think I liked it better the second time.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing it the first time, I was kind of like, it's all right.
But it was better.
It kind of. Well, I don't want to say this yet. After we do our countdown, Murray, did you get to see it? Okay. So we had Jared Leto versus Nick Cage.
Both of them were very good in this, actually.
They were very good. I'm gonna say, at times they were both very good.
I would say that one. Okay, I'll say it after we do this. 'Cause
Yes,
it'll
let's
give
do
away
it.
what-
Okay, yeah, me too.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Nick
Jared Leto.
Cage.
Ah, damn it!
Wow. You thought he was going to pick Nick Cage, didn't you?
No, I don't know who he thought.
No, I mean, he thought you were going to pick him so you'd knock him off. I know that.
No.
You know how much you love Nick Cage.
Yeah, I love Nick Cage, but I thought there was parts of this movie he was flat.
I thought
And Jared Leto was consistent in every single shot.
And that's the whole thing. Jared Leto was consistent in every single shot. And he was consistently very good. But whether Nick Cage was over the top or not quite over the top, I was still more mesmerized by him because I'm like, what is going on?
See, I wasn't, and part of it was that I didn't find him consistent through the whole movie. So whenever Jared Leto would show up on screen, I was just kind of more excited because it was like, what he's doing just seems that much more exciting. For Nick Cage, it was kind of like, and even his monotone narration over top of it was kind of like, yeah, and this is the time I did the blah blah blah. Like there was no emotion, which it's part of what the story was. I get it, but that character kind of followed through his acting, and so for me, it was probably one of the flattest I've seen Cage. That's why I thought Leto was better because every time he was on, he nailed it. And when he got in the same scene with Nick, I guess I kind of understand what you're saying. But to me, I thought Leto
that was the thing. Whenever they were on screen together, which was most of it. I mean, it's not like Jared Leto had a whole lot of scenes without Nick Cage. But yeah, I was watching Nick Cage the whole time. I couldn't look away from Nick Cage.
See, I couldn't look away from Leto.
And Jared Leto was the consummate professional that he always is, and whatever he's asked to do, he nails it. And he did nail it. And in this case, nailing it meant that you don't upstage Nick Cage, and he didn't.
Yeah, see, his very last scene that they did together,
he was
I thought Leto totally outdid Cage.
Maybe in that one scene, I could almost see your point. Almost. But overall, I'm still drawn to Nick Cage in this case.
The saddest thing about this is that we get to keep them both.
That's terrible.
That's sad.
That's so sad.
So sad. Usually sometimes when we disagree, it's a fight. But this seems so naturally awesome because we didn't really want to lose either of them. I in all honesty, I did not want to lose Cage. You know that.
Yes, I'm well aware of that.
He's my man. But I really thought Leto took him. So.
And you know that I genuinely love Nick Cage in this particular role because anytime I can put it to you, I'll totally do it. So if there was any chance.
It's true. Like, yeah, that's true. You could have, but if you thought it was going Nick Cage anyway, then you just thought we'd be losing Jared Leto.
Well, that's the whole thing. That's what tells you that I genuinely thought it was Nick Cage because I was sure you were going to say Nick Cage, and I was very upset that we were going to lose Jared Leto. But I am completely honest when it comes to these.
So am I.
I think that we just proved that. But I think it's been implied sometimes that we're not, and that we're pulling for our boys.
Yeah.
But in this case, if I had to pull for someone, I'd be pulling for Jared Leto. You'd be pulling for Nick Cage. And we both chose the opposite.
Yeah.
So I just like to lay this as the
This is
proof,
the absolute proof that we don't have favorites.
Exactly. So thank you.
There we go. And thank God Murray didn't see this.
Yeah, I don't know who I would have picked. Probably Leto. Yeah. So, as you know, last week or whenever the hell it was, we added a couple more people to our Mesmerized.
We did.
We did. One of whom was Christian Bale.
Yes,
so
we
you
did.
wanted me to find a movie.
Oh, we did.
And I did. I almost went with his very first movie, which was what?
Newsies?
Empire of the Sun.
Oh, I thought it was Newsies.
I'm sure it was Empire
Oh,
of the
God.
Sun.
He was so brilliant in Empire
Yeah.
of the Sun.
But he was only 13.
He could have knocked
Whatever.
out, what's his face?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, at least I'm on
No,
our
instead
list.
I went
Gandhi.
with a more recent one, which I'm fairly certain both people got nominated for Oscars. For.
Which means nothing, but okay.
But just saying.
Yep.
That would be Vice. Christian Bale, Sam Rockwell.
Ooh.
Controversial Sam Rockwell.
Yeah,
we just
it
saw
is.
recently.
Yeah, who should be gone, but that's just.
So
my
we'll
opinion.
see if this knocks him out.
Yeah,
I may actually
maybe
watch
this
this.
is
I may actually
this
watch
is the
this.
final truth.
Even though it's about Bush and Cheney, I might actually watch this.
This movie is so good, Murray. It is so.
Have you not seen Vice?
It's
You'll
so-
like Vice.
It's so.
I will
good.
guarantee that you will like
You
Vice.
think so? Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
And Christian-
positive.
Even though I don't like George Bush.
I
Don't care.
Here,
Doesn't
here's,
matter.
Here,
Watch it. You'll
I'm
love
not
it.
envisioning that, like, I don't want to predict anything, but after watching Christian Bale in this, I was just like, I forgot that Sam Rockwell was in this
There you
movie.
go.
So that's
Really?
not
Maybe a
boding
chance
well
to
for the
knock him
fact.
out.
Well,
They- yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, it's.
All right,
well, I'm
now.
excited. We proved that we can be honest,
There you
Yes,
go.
we have.
at least for once.
For once.
For once and for all.
Once and for all.
Wait,
Are we still doing?
well, is there anything from this week that we saw that we think we should talk about that we've already seen? Anything from Halloween Ends that
I already told
That-
you that if
floats your
It was
jowls?
a rage anyway. So it
yeah,
didn't
it
matter.
was just. If everybody was awful in that. As I say, that was such a piss poor performance from Will Patton that I just can't believe it was even him. And it didn't even look like him. Like, what's going on with
No, it
Will
did.
Patton?
How dare you get older, Will Patton?
How dare you be
Well, he
70
didn't.
years
He
old?
didn't look old though. Like he looked plastic. Like it's
Maybe it was
weird.
makeup. Maybe it was
I
makeup.
think they had makeup on
Little
him.
Botox.
yeah,
It was
or
because
just
it was
makeup.
It was very. He looked very odd to me for some reason. Like
Hmm.
he almost looked. You know how Robert De Niro looked in The Irishman
Oh,
when
God.
they computer
Yeah.
generated him
The younger version?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was.
That's what it kind of reminded me
Yeah,
of.
it
Because
was-
he had like no lines in his face. It was
Remember-
just weird, but he still looked old.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
Remember how much I hated that movie? Remember
Yes,
that?
I really liked it. It was
Yeah,
good.
it was
Yeah,
really bad.
All right.
Scorsese.
Can we? I put Scorsese up for being
Awesome.
repulsive.
I don't know. I like too many of his early movies to really.
Yeah,
And he doesn't make enough
can't
movies
be.
to really.
He's
Yeah.
He's made 8
awesome.
movies in the last 30
He's
years.
just made one bad movie in a while, so.
Yeah.
You ever
I was-
noticed that?
I was joking that he was repulsive.
I know you were. Have you ever noticed that Scorsese and Joe Dante like have almost exact same mannerisms?
Yes.
They're just
Yeah.
So sometimes I have to do a double take to see like, okay, who am I listening to right now?
Is Dante from New York too, though?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's
Yeah.
just the New York
But they,
mannerism.
yeah, they really.
Because De
and they-
Niro
and
has
they
those
almost-
mannerisms too.
If Dante like would just slick his hair straight back, they'd almost look the same. Put some black glasses on him, slick his hair back.
Maybe
and
they actually are the same
they
person.
might be the same person.
right?
Maybe.
I mean, the films that Dante does are very different than
I only bring
Scorsese's.
that up because I was just watching those scariest moments on Shudder, and there's a
Yeah.
lot of
I
Joe
believe you
Dante
were
on.
too.
There is a lot of Joe
and I was
Dante.
like, why are they interviewing Scorsese? Oh, it's not Scorsese, it's Joe Dante.
His doppelganger.
Nice. That's so good.
All right.
Hey everybody, I'm Jess.
And I'm Ebony.
And we are
the Gruesome Twosome Movie Review Some.
We are about the wacky, the wonderful,
The weird,
the strange,
the unusual,
the gore,
the fucked up,
the actors, the connection,
theatre.
the passion, the love. Pretty much everything that
Comes
film
with film.
represents. Yeah. But if it's on a screen, we are there. We are reviewing. We love snacks. We love people. we love love.
We
and
just love film.
We love films.
So come join us on the couch.
If you're as crazy as film as we are, come join us and have a good time with us. See you soon, my loves.
Bye.
Our down under buddies.
They are crazy.
They're crazy.
Last week on Rage or Dare, it was Jim's turn to tempt fate and go back to the bag of torturous destiny. As you all might remember, the boys are focused on what can only be imagined as the worst dare challenge ever to be undertaken in film dare history. They have each dared each other to see who will pick High School Musical 3 from each other's bag. As you can imagine, Jim was quite excited to be forced to watch Evita instead of Anyone, High School Musical 3. This week, both Bryce and Jim will lovingly embrace the Casey remake bag of true torture. Though I am sure for the boys it will be a true vacation compared to tempting fate with High School Musical 3. Now let's check in with Jim and see if he will cry for Argentina or just cry for the 2 hours and 15 minutes he spent watching Madonna pretending to be she's from Latin America. Like a virgin. Hey! Touched for the very first time.
Oh my gosh.
I fucking love that man. I would marry him and take him away if I only could. So, Evita. If only
Yes.
the warnings at the beginning of this show were going to be the worst things about this film. You know, like some mild language,
Yes.
or thematic elements, or images of violence, and possibly what could be the most scandalous thing is that it contains tobacco depictions.
Oh, that's terrible.
I mean, fuck me. May I be able to survive tobacco depictions? I mean, I can get past mild language. I mean, but tobacco depictions? I had a feeling before I was starting to watch this, for the second time I might add, that I was in for some trouble. God, this film is long. And it jumps between eras and timelines so much near the beginning. I felt like I was watching a musical version of an Argentinian film making Back to the Future, or maybe an Argentinian Time Bandits. But you know, not nearly as good as either one of those films. Bad enough that they threw singing in for no reason whatsoever.
Because it was in the stage play.
Was the fact that half the actors are all people who can't hold a tune.
Oh, no.
There was two saving graces that allowed this to save it from becoming the worst musical time travel English-speaking Argentinian biopic period piece film filled with an entire cast who aren't Argentinians. Number one, Madonna can actually sing. And number two, it's visually beautifully shot.
Okay.
This film was beautifully shot. Again, it has that stupid musical song structure where there is no hook in any of the songs and basically just singing obvious dialogue like, my family is poor and I want to be famous and go to Argentina, Buenos Aires, to make or take a dump and live in a building and buy coffee at a cafe or whatever.
Was that a song from it?
I don't remember that from the stage play.
I think that's what I heard. Ultimately, this film is way too long at 2 hours and 15 minutes to tell a story that could have been a short. Plus, was so boring, which has multiplied the fact by 99% of the dialogue was sang by people who can't sing and acted by a lead who is repulsive in almost everything she does. With over-the-top dramatics, and if things start, it seems they're going in the right way, and if they're not going in the right way, you know what you do? You just throw in Don't Cry For Me, Argentina to pep things up, which happened multiple times in this movie.
Really?
Yeah. It was kind of like, you know what? The story's getting a little draggy. You know what this needs?
Don't cry.
Don't Cry For Me, Argentina. In full-on verses.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a musical opera made so English-speaking people could learn the history of Argentina as they sing along. I'm not surprised it's on Disney Plus, just to say. Not a fan of musicals. Madonna as an actor. People pretending to be Argentinians who are not. Period pieces in general, and 2 hours and 15-minute shorts. Although, I did love seeing a younger Antonio and Jonathan Pryce. But wait, this wasn't English. So, Antonio normally doesn't make good English-speaking movies. So yeah, this is a pass. It's a rage. Antonio, get back to being in Spanish films.
There you go.
And I wish we could have talked about this before we did the list, because I really want to put forward Madonna again for being repulsive.
Sure.
Perhaps we'll have to talk about her next week.
Maybe. So go back in time. So when did I actually? I was the reason that she didn't become. That she's not.
Yeah,
on the
it was
repulsive
you.
one? So what was my
Or maybe
reasoning?
it was Murray. I don't know.
No, I don't like her.
I don't know.
What would have been my
I
I
reasoning?
think you liked her in that
In what?
Suddenly
Guy
Susan or something.
No.
No.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I
just remember you
I
said she
mind
didn't find her
in,
repulsive.
Didn't mind her in League of Their Own, but
Oh,
she
maybe
was-
that's what it was.
Because I don't think it was me. I can't imagine that I didn't. That
Find her repulsive.
yeah.
So Murray kiboshed it.
I
with
kind of
a
want to
look
go
at her
back in time and find that episode.
I wouldn't have taken her off the list for that.
No. The list we want to put her on
No,
is
I
the
thought she was
repulsive
already on it.
list.
I thought she was already on
No,
it.
she's not.
No, she's not.
I think she might be on the doubted list, but
Got
she's
my
not. She's not on the repulsive. There we go. Well,
can't stand
except we can't put her on now. We have to wait till next week.
It's too late.
So stay tuned, everybody.
I do want to go back and find out who actually kiboshed it in the first place.
You know what? Don't cry for me, Argentina.
Okay.
It's not worth it.
Truth is, I never left you.
Let's pull a movie from the Casey's
Casey.
bag.
The Casey remake bag of torture.
Let's see what we choose. I'll get to watch it on my brand new couch. It's coming tomorrow.
Oh, baby. Might have to sneak over and
Yes.
cuddle you on that couch if it's something really good. What could be a remake we haven't seen
I
lately?
don't know. Let's find
There's a
out.
few of them in there.
He does like to torture us with remakes.
Yeah, are they all remakes?
No,
Is that gonna-
so.
there's a few.
Is this a remake?
I think it's a remake.
What is it?
It seriously is. Now, did anybody else see this? Because I seem to remember watching half of it, and then I actually had to bow out.
Oh. Okay. You have to tell me what it is in order for me to
it's-
answer your question.
It's the movie from 2011.
Okay, there were a few movies in 2011.
Yep.
You gotta
This
be
one
more
in
specific.
particular
Yeah.
was titled Conan. Oh,
The remake.
sorry.
Conan.
Conan the Barbarian,
Yeah, no, the
Oh, yeah.
remake.
Yeah, I watched it.
which is a remake.
Yes, it is.
Jason Samoa.
And Jason Momoa, not
sorry,
Samoa.
He's Samoan.
Samoa.
He's Samoan.
Ron Perlman, Rose McGowan,
Yeah.
Steve Lang, Rachel Nichols,
Yeah.
Bob Sapp,
Yeah.
Leo Howard, Stephen O'Donnell. This sounds great. Why would this be in our bag?
I'm sure it's awesome.
Yeah.
I-
Remakes are usually
Sure, yes.
good, right?
I can honestly say that I 100% know that I watched it, and I 100% can't remember one thing about it.
Huh.
I
That's
guarantee
usually-
I saw it in the theater.
That's
Who was
usually
in
a
it?
man.
Usually, yeah. So
Right?
maybe it will be.
I don't think it's going to be because
I
you know
think
what?
gonna-
It's
he wouldn't have put it. He is absolutely like, as I've said before. Casey gets it, and he has not missed yet. Everything he's
not
put in that
disappointed.
bag has just been so god frickin' awful.
you know,
It's borderline unwatchable. So I assume this.
there's
will
a
be as
reason
well.
why Casey is the god and the voice of Rage or Dare. He gets it.
He gets
Gets
it.
us.
He totally gets it. He gets us. He gets it. He gets everything.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Ragers, for listening. Thanks to the Extended Film Rage family, who you can find in our show notes. Thanks to Casey from The Nerdy Photographer for the voice of Rage or Dare. Find us on social media everywhere at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. We're always wanting to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, and subscribe, and send us an email to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see terrible movies to fuel our rage, but no matter what you do, please make us rage. Please, 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 pretty please, 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 please. That's it for this week. Rage on.
Rage on.